This is a review of Resident Evil Village on PC. Unlike most reviews where I'd play the entire game, in this I only play the first hour of gameplay and that is what I review. If you're like me, you might have a short attention span and that first hour of gameplay is what really matters as to whether you are going to continue to play and enjoy this game. This is going to give a different perspective on the game. While some games may score really well in a normal review, that first hour of gameplay might be a bit rough and could score poorly on this. We'll have to see how Resident Evil does. So starting out, when we first get into the game, we're met with the menu. I do have some complaints here. The controls to navigate through the menu are different than any other game I've seen. I can't just guess what the controls are. I gotta actually look at what it says, what button it says to use to navigate through. Then if we go into the graphics settings, when we're changing the resolution, each time I'm flipping through the resolution, it updates that resolution on the game. It doesn't just let me choose the resolution I want and then set that. And I did have to change the resolution because when I started up the game, it was at a lower resolution than my native resolution. We're then lacking some descriptions with the graphics settings. They're not very descriptive. It's hard to tell what exactly they are doing. But there are some good options for graphics. I didn't have too many problems there, except there is no ability to change the FOV. And it is very low. With a horror game, this is normal. You should have a lower FOV for a horror game, as this will increase your chances of getting those jump scares, but it is too low for me. I wish I could bring it up a little bit higher. Then also, one plus I found is that the graphics settings that are automatically set when you start up the game are pretty accurate. Game ran pretty smoothly for the settings they gave me, and it looks good. I did tweak it a little bit later into the game, but it's pretty spot on. Next we get into the graphics of the game. The graphics here are great, no complaints with the graphics. The characters are some of the best characters I've seen in a game. The animations of the characters looks natural, looks realistic, the details on them, it's great. Even the animations throughout the rest of the game and the gameplay, climbing up ladders, doing things, the animation is smooth, looks good. The world itself is pretty. I liked the world and how it all looks, and it looks realistic. It's a realistic looking game, and it runs well. I was running on an RTX 2060 with i7 5930K and 32 gigs of RAM. I didn't have any. It was well balanced out with performance and graphics. The lighting was nothing too crazy, but it does have ray tracing in it, and I did not enable that. Then looking at audio, the audio was balanced, sounded good to me. Voice acting is great in this game. Do have a complaint with the guns though. The guns sounded very weak, just soft sounding. They didn't sound very powerful or loud. I would have liked them to be a little bit stronger in audio. Getting into the cutscenes in the game, the cutscenes for me were entertaining and interesting enough. Typically for me, this is where I start to get bored in the game in the beginning when I'm watching cutscenes that are long or just not very well done or interesting. But here in Resident Evil, cutscenes were great. I was impressed with the transitions going in and out between gameplay and a cutscene. Those looked great to me. No complaints with the cutscenes.
There. She's asleep.
What is with the creepy story? She's only 6 months old.
Woman at the store said it was traditional. A local tale. Besides, Rose doesn't seem to mind.
Because she doesn't understand it. Thank God. We moved here so that she wouldn't have to deal with any of that, remember?
There's nothing wrong with my memory. You're just being paranoid.
It's not... Never mind. I'm sorry. But I'm not paranoid. I'm just cautious.
Then, go cautiously take your daughter to bed. I'll finish dinner.
It's okay, Rose. Your mother doesn't want to remember it. I can't blame her.
Did you say something?
Nothing. I'll put her down.
Now for the actual gameplay, where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do. Starting out in the game was very clear. The paths were clear, what I was supposed to do. Never felt confused at all in the game, but I did feel like I had some freedom to look around, spend a lot extra time, do other things. The inventory system was very well laid out, very simple, intuitive. Same with the crafting. You can craft a few things in the game starting out. I'm sure this does get a little more complex later on in the game, but from what I saw, it was simple, not too over encumbered, not too complex, just easy to use. The guns, though, going back to the guns, I do have complaints in the gameplay. The guns just feel soft. There should be more feedback in the guns, and you cannot aim down the sights. When you do try to hold down and aim down sights, all it does is zoom in the camera a little and bring in your crosshair. I would like to see an actual looking down the sights of the gun. That does break my immersion a little bit, that you cannot actually look down your gun. So overall, I am giving the first hour of Resident Evil Village a 9 out of 10 score. I have docked 1 point off for the gunplay and the problems I had in the main menu. Overall, though, this is a great game. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I look forward to playing more of it. It was easy to get into the game. It got my attention from the beginning and continued to have my attention till the end of the first hour. So this game has no problems with getting into, and I give this thumbs up. This is a horror game, so how scary is it going to get? Typically horror games do get scarier farther into the game, but just looking at the first hour, it didn't seem like it's going to be too scary of a game. Thank you for watching. I will be making more reviews like this of other games where I only play the first hour and then give my review of that first look. And let me know what you think about this format of reviewing games, how I'm doing this. Do you think this is a good way to review a game? Let me know. Thank you.
Stop shouting. You'll draw the monsters.
Julian, calm down.
Who's this?
A friend!
Stay back.
Father! For God's sake, Julian, let us in.
No, they'll smell the blood. You'll endanger us all.
My father will die out here.
That's not my problem.
What's going on?
These people want to let a dying man into our home.
Come now, these people are our friends. Go on, go inside. Come now, this way. You're not from this village.
No. I'm Ethan.
Julian, go make yourself useful and check the grounds. I said go! Well, if Elena trusts you, then so do I. Come inside, Ethan.